Hey, I'm Tori Hanley. I'm the lead for the Science Collaborative project. I'm excited to give you a sneak peek of our work on the assessment and communication of seagrass seed-based restoration techniques. So we all know that globally, seagrasses are declining, and this includes both increasing rates of decline as well as dramatic decreases in aerial extent. And this is not limited to one region or to one state or to one country even. This is a ubiquitous problem. And this has led to a lot of energy being focused on seagrass restoration. Now, a lot of energy, time, and money has been invested in seagrass restoration. But overall, we're still seeing relatively mixed or even low success of seagrass restoration. For example, a couple years ago, we found that 63% of seagrass restorations tend to fail. And what this means is that we have an immediate need for better communication of restoration methods because we're seeing this global decline and rates are increasing. And so we need to get better about communicating what is working and what isn't working. Now, a lot of efforts thus far have been focused on shoot-based restoration, which is what you're seeing here. But more recently, there has been increased interest in seed-based restoration methods. And this is the motivation for our project. We know that there are a huge variety of different seed-based restoration techniques currently being used, but we see really limited communication of the lessons learned both among groups and across geographic regions. And so that's what brought together our project team, which includes a variety of seagrass scientists and restoration practitioners from the East and West Coast of the United States, as well as 3 of the NERRS sites on both coasts. And what we're really interested in doing is trying to assess and summarize the different seed-based restoration methods and efforts that have been done, focusing on the species eelgrass, Zoster marina, with the goal of creating a common database and platform to better communicate eelgrass seed-based restoration methods globally. And so to get at this approach, we have 4 components to our project. So the first component is an online survey where we are trying to reach a global community of seagrass restoration practitioners. And I want to emphasize here that our end users come at seagrass restoration from a variety of perspectives. So these may be folks that are working in restoration management. They may be folks interested in research on seagrass restoration, or they may be focused on the practice side of restoration. And so with this online survey, we want to get at the different methods that are being used to restore eelgrass. And we want to get at questions that are of importance to our end users. And so we've already reached out to folks via meetings, conferences, small working groups to ask questions about what topics would they like to see covered on this online survey. And so examples of these questions that we want to ask this global community include success of different seeding methods, what are possible funding sources for these projects, and what are some common permitting challenges that people are running into. Now, the second component of this project is a follow-up interview. And this is an opportunity for us to explore high priority topics in more depth and also gather valuable data to populate our story map, our third component of this project. And again, I want to emphasize that we have really iterative engagement of our end user community. We've already reached out to folks and are going to be asking these questions in the online survey to ask what aspects of seed-based restoration do we need more details, more specifics about. And so examples may be source or restoration site selection, priorities in project design, or emerging approaches such as assisted migration. Now, the third component is the development of a story map. So we want to have an open access, comprehensive summary of eelgrass seed-based restoration methods on both coasts of the United States. And the goal here is that for folks from all different agencies, institutions, backgrounds, to be able to go to this story map and get a better idea of what methods have been used, whether they were successful, where these restorations took place. And this has really been inspired by a project led by Randall Hughes that I assisted with, looking at Massachusetts restoration efforts. And now we want to scale this up so that we have this information for the community of scientists and restoration practitioners in the United States. And then the last component is a hybrid bicoastal workshop. And we want this workshop to have both virtual and in-person components. Virtually, we want to be able to bring together this large community of seagrass restoration practitioners to discuss challenges to seed-based restoration. But then we also want to have in-person asynchronous workshops so that we can delve more in depth to region-specific questions, challenges, and priorities. And then ultimately, we want the final outcome of this project to be a workshop website. In addition to our story map, we want to make these presentations available. We want to have these summaries of these facilitated discussions and group outputs. And we're hoping that this will create the foundation for a community of seagrass restoration practitioners that are interested and invested in seed-based methods for the long term. Thank you.